So at that time, we had the inside bar.
Mhm.
There was a tent out on the corner
Okay.
out there by South Bend Avenue,
Mhm.
and then there was another tent out back of.
Uh-huh.
So we basically had 3 bars all running at once, all 3 of them packed,
Yeah.
and a fight broke out
Oh, Lord.
in the front tent.
Mm-mm.
Then a fight broke out in the back tent,
Mm-mm-mm.
and then a fight broke out inside.
It was in the air.
So we had 3
Oh my
fights
God.
going on at the same time.
You heard that there. That is Aaron Frucci, who's been connected to the Linebacker Lounge for years. Thousands of people across the country and even the globe have fond, but somewhat foggy, memories of the legendary South Bend and Notre Dame establishment. More of that later, but first, thank you for listening to another episode of Round the Bend Now and Then. My name is Matt Emery, and I'm a local history nerd. My main mission in this podcast, as well as other Round the Bend material, is to create engaging content that shares how intertwined the South Bend and Mishawaka area's past is to our present. I interview local leaders, business owners, and community members to help tell their stories, because their stories help tell the story of South Bend and Mishawaka. Before we get to the interview, I just have a few simple favors. One is to be sure that you hit the download, like, or subscribe button on whatever podcast app that you listen to us on. Another favor is to follow us on social media, at Round the Bend Pod or at Round the Bend 574 on Twitter, Round the Bend Now and Then on Facebook, and now on YouTube, where I'm starting to dabble in some visual content as well. I have a few new videos that include some cool historical pictures, maps, newspaper articles, and narration by yours truly. All of those links are in the show notes as well. My last favor is to please just pass on the good word about the content. Now, let's dive into another interview that helps tell the story of South Bend and Mishawaka. You always hear different statistics and data about how hard it is for bars and restaurants to succeed. You hear things like 80% of restaurants close within the first 5 years. And a guy who is my age, pushing 46, has seen restaurant after restaurant and bar after bar come and go. There are a few bars and restaurants around the South Bend and Mishawaka area, though, that have been here forever, well before my time. These are the places that literally generations of people have frequented. These are the places that last 62 years and counting, like the Linebacker Lounge. The Linebacker has stood at the corner of Edison and State Road 23, also known as South Bend Avenue, since 1962. While the area surrounding it has changed over the years, from being on a 2-lane country road to now a large, busy intersection, the Backer has stood tall, welcoming everyone and making sure that all who frequent it leave happy and hopefully upright. I wouldn't be doing a service to my listeners who love hearing about the South Bend and Mishawaka area's history if I did not highlight the legendary Linebacker Lounge. So in this episode, I meet with Aaron Frucci. Aaron has been connected to the Backer for years, mostly as a now self-proclaimed retired bartender. And as you know, bartenders, especially bartenders in packed college bars, see some things. And Aaron is no exception. We talk about everything from famous celebrities in there to bachelorette parties to generations of patrons. And Aaron even shares about the Linebacker Sludge. We also discuss the history of the Linebacker and how there were several instances in the 1970s where we were extremely close to losing it. This was definitely an episode that I did not want to record in the studio. In order to tell the story of the Linebacker, in order to get the full effect of the Linebacker, you have to record at the Linebacker. I set up the microphones and the equipment right there in the bar on one of the tables. Aaron and I slapped on the headphones and we chatted about the Backer. All the while, there were dozens of other bar patrons around enjoying their time. It could not have been more perfect because as we were setting up, a group of Notre Dame college kids came in and we started chatting a bit. And their purpose at the Backer that day truly exemplifies why the place is so loved and so legendary. You'll hear more about that in this episode as well. So sit back and enjoy learning all about the Linebacker Lounge. Well, hey, Aaron, thank you for joining us.
Oh, no problem.
The linebacker has been here since I can remember. I'm 46, and I just remember as a kid even driving past and just looking up there and knowing it had something to do with Notre Dame and with the connection with the football and linebacker and stuff. But talk to me about, just give me a little background of you and your connections to here.
So I started working here in, I think it was May or June of 2005.
Okay.
And I retired. Wow, now I got to think about this because I think it was 5 years ago.
Okay.
6 years ago, actually on my birthday.
Oh, nice.
That was my birthday present, was I finally got to retire. My son had graduated from high school, and I was like, you know what? I'm done. I had done it here for 13 years.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
a total of 23 years total of
Okay.
bartending.
Uh-huh.
So I'd had enough.
Yeah.
It was time.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
The late nights and didn't really want to be up late anymore. It's kind
Right.
of nice to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning and get stuff done.
For
instead of
sure.
getting up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and trying to figure out how you're going to jam it in before
Right.
you have to go back to work.
Oh, my God.
But I did I started hanging out here when I was 21.
Okay.
So that's now been, hold on, I'm going to be 48 this year.
Uh-huh.
So 27 years of
Yes.
hanging out here.
Yes.
I knew about it previous to that because I had worked at TGI Fridays.
Okay.
And a bunch of people I worked with either worked here as their second job or just hung out here.
I got you.
So I was always told, don't go near the place until you're 21. You won't get in with
Yeah.
a fake.
Okay.
You're- It's just not going to happen.
Right.
So I'm one of the rare ones that can say I didn't set foot in here until I was 21.
You kind of mentioned it a little bit ago, your first time coming into the linebacker, but do you remember kind of the first time you stepped in here and your earliest memories and what were your thoughts?
So because I knew so many people that worked here, when I turned 21, I would come in during the week.
Okay.
I never really truly came in on the weekends because at that time I was working at Heartland. I was busy working there.
Right.
So I never got a chance to come here on the weekends. So we would come in during the week, and good old Big Ron here during the week.
Okay.
And I knew him previously outside of the linebacker.
Okay.
So we would harass each other. We'd come down on Monday nights and watch Monday Night Raw and Nitro because he was a huge wrestling fan.
In the day too, when it was peak.
Well, you're in a place that's got multiple TVs.
Absolutely.
You can watch both at once.
Right, exactly. WCW on one, WWE on the other. Nice.
Yes, sir.
If you had to describe the linebacker just physically to somebody who has never seen it or been here, how would you just describe it?
I don't know. It's a combination of cheers,
Okay.
somebody's basement. It was that friend that had that really good sound system. And it was in a basement.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we were younger, basements weren't all fancy.
No.
And everything. It was
No.
cement walls and
That's it. Maybe
somebody's-
some wood paneling.
somebody's hooch over in the corner, brewing up. But because it's cheers. People know your name.
Okay.
When you come in here, it's a little dark.
Yep.
It does have the wood paneling
Absolutely.
all over the walls, but it's homey.
That's it. Yes. That's it. And Noel Cheers, everybody knows your name, is home for some folks,
And in that reference, we're not talking Cheers on 933. We're talking
No.
Cheers
We're
in
talking
Boston.
Sam Malone and Mayday Malone and Coach and Woody. That's what we're talking, right?
Oh yeah.
Speaking of like a Coach or a Woody type bartender, is that what you felt like when you were working here? Like you had the same people coming in here and there, or was it?
Yes.
Okay.
So the era I
Yeah.
would say that I worked, we had a lot of groups of people
Okay.
that we saw every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night,
I got you.
and sometimes Sunday morning because they forgot something. And the crazy thing is, there was probably 3 or 4 different groups, but they all knew each other.
I got you.
And, there's times that they would roll in 10 to 15 strong.
Mm-hmm.
And there are times that those 4 groups would fill up this whole bar.
Nice.
And it was fun. They were all great people. They all came from different nationalities, different backgrounds, but they all got along, and they were
love it.
They still come out every once in a while, but they're now into their mid 30s.
Well, that's what
some
happens.
of them upper 30s, and get married, have kids. They kind of don't go out as much.
Now here's the deal. This place is easily the top 5 most packed, crowded places I've ever been into. We have here. The old Bridget McGuire's and the old 5 Point intersection over there was absolutely packed. Been in the State Theater, I think, when it was extremely way too packed back in the day when they had its little nightclub.
And then stuff falling from the ceiling.
Yeah. Then a couple places in Bloomington. Talk to me about some of the most absolute packed nights in here, most hype nights in here that you can remember, like if there was a special event or anything like that.
So it would have been a USC weekend in, I'm going to go 05, 06, 07. So
Okay.
I don't remember exactly what year that there was a home game here.
Oh, was that the Bush?
Might have been.
Okay.
So at that time, we had the inside bar. There was a tent out on the corner out there by South Bend Avenue. And then there was another tent out back up. So we basically had 3 bars all running at once. All 3 of them packed.
Yeah.
And a fight broke out.
Oh, Lord.
In the front tent. Then a fight broke out in the back tent. And then a fight broke out inside.
It was in the air.
So we had 3 fights going on at the same time.
Lord.
Security was losing their mind because, they're running around.
Of course.
We're behind the bar trying to figure out
what to do.
What exactly is going on.
Right.
So that was one that was really full. We get during my time, reunion weekend is always
okay, really?
happens at the beginning of June.
Okay.
And everybody comes back.
Nice.
The age range goes from mid 20s to mid 80s.
That's one of my questions. So let's talk about that. So alumni groups and they come back, huh?
Yep. And they come back.
Neat.
They come back strong.
Really?
Probably the best one is the class of 96. I'm totally going to give them a shout out because they made me an honorary member.
Really?
A couple of years ago. I actually went and bartended for their little party that they do when they come back for reunion weekend.
Neat.
This group of people knows how to do it. They had also brought in DJ Drew, who was the DJ here for many years. They brought him in to DJ. So you had a former backer bartender bartending for them, the former backer DJ playing music for them, and it was in one of the quads on campus. There was probably somewhere between 60 and 80 of them.
Wow.
Including their spouses.
That's neat.
Then other classes started joining in because they were like, okay,
they borrow and steal. They're like, this is hype.
The class of 96 knows what they're doing. And they do. They have a good time.
That's nice.
They forget that they're in their late 40s, early 50s, and just get after it.
I love it, man. I love it. And they're probably all over the country. Well, they are.
Oh, yeah.
Leading up to it, they probably have little text chains, Facebook conversations, and all that going on. And it's how exciting, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
And then it was a blast. It was 2 nights. It was a Friday and Saturday night. Both nights I left at 3:00. They kept going till about 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yes.
There was some streaking. There was some
streaking in the quad, hand in hand.
And that's what it was. We're going streaking. All right, go right ahead. Nothing I want to see, but go right ahead.
I love good old-fashioned fun. Good old-fashioned fun. You just heard about a group of Notre Dame graduates who almost 30 years after they graduated from college still gets together and still a lot of their fun is surrounding the linebacker. I mentioned in the intro about chatting with a group of young men from Notre Dame, and about how their purpose there truly exemplifies why so many memories and stories are formed around the linebacker. Now, I was there around noon, and there was a group of a good 10 to 12 young men there. They were there because one of them, Spencer, had to pay off a fantasy football punishment as he got last place in his league. He had to be in the linebacker from opening time at 11 a.m. until closing at 3 a.m. The only way to decrease his time in there was to drink a 32-ounce beer. Each brew he drank, an hour was taken off his total time. Now, I absolutely love this kind of stuff, and it's the same shenanigans that me and my boys would have pulled. And this is just one more example of why the linebacker is so iconic. This fantasy football league chose the backer as their punishment. They knew that any time you stay inside of the linebacker for a good 12-plus hours, that equals a good time and fond memories. Anyways, I chatted with Spencer for a few minutes and got his thoughts on the linebacker. You'll hear that next, and then we get back to my interview with Aaron. Hey, who's the fantasy football guy?
Who's the loser?
He's over there playing.
Oh, he's trying to get.
Oh, is he?
He's trying to get time taken off.
Yeah.
Oh, is that how you get time taken off?
For him, it's like every 32-ounce beer he finishes, it's an hour.
That's great. But he's got to stay from open to close, unless he knocks off.
He's been here since 11 sharp.
Can I? Where's he at? Is he still shooting pool over there?
Yeah.
I'd love to talk to him real fast. You think you would?
You want us to ask him?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, all good.
All right, sounds good. All right, well, hey, again, my name is Matt Emery, and I'm just love South Bend area, not our history and all that, and so we're here to do a podcast episode on the linebacker.
Yeah.
And so I interviewed a longtime bartender here and everything, and so as soon as I sat down there to interview, your buddies here said that you're here for the consequence of losing your fantasy football season. Is that right, Spencer?
Yeah, that's right. There's 14 of us, and I was dead last, so I was stuck with the punishment. This is the first part of there are two parts of the punishment. First part is being here from open to close at the backer today, so 11 a.m.
Oh, my gosh.
So, I'm in here for a while today. Yeah.
Open to close. This is the first time you've done
something like this, for sure, yeah.
Wow. And then, where are you from?
I'm from outside Boston, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when you first came to school here, what was the first memories of the linebacker? Did anybody talk about it at all? Or?
Yeah, I have a good story. So, moved here freshman year. I had never been to Notre Dame before. I never got to visit with COVID and stuff.
Okay.
And then my first linebacker memory is actually losing a fake ID at the door here.
Love it.
Yeah. Came with a couple of buddies probably 2 hours after my fake ID arrived in the mail, and first time ever using it, got it taken at the front door right here at the linebacker. So, yeah. That was my first memory of the linebacker.
That's probably some good publicity for the linebacker, though. That means that they're being pretty stringent upon it. Because in my day, there was nothing. If you looked anywhere close to what was on your ID, you're getting on in.
Yeah.
So, you and your buddies come hang out here frequently?
Yeah, a decent amount. They do trivia Wednesday nights, which is a bunch of fun. So we come out and do that bunch, and then we're here a decent amount.
Nice.
Nothing like this though. This should be interesting. It's cool having them all.
It's neat though. Yeah. So for our listeners, there's a good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, good 10 guys here, man. That's awesome, and it's all surrounding the linebacker.
Yeah.
That's cool.
The iconic Notre Dame bar
for sure. So. And then by the end of the night, there will be the Linebacker Sludge on the ground, and hopefully you can contribute to that by the end of the night. All right, Spencer. I appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, of course.
All right, take care, sir. Yep, for sure. For my own son's 21st birthday, we went to the Cove, and then we came here. It was a Sunday. And we came here, and it was like Sunday at 2 or 3 o'clock, and there was karaoke here. And it was, I'd mentioned I quit drinking about 4 or 5 years ago, so I don't care. I still get up in front of everybody and do karaoke. So it was my first time doing karaoke sober. It was a blast. But Humpty Dance. I'm a Humpty Dance fool. I will get this place rocking.
Oh, of course.
Anyway, my son kind of was shaking his head, a little embarrassed, but it got me thinking. You probably experienced tons of bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, 21st birthdays. What did you see more of? 21st birthdays probably, or?
Probably more bachelorette parties.
Okay.
Lots. And we would get them 2 to 3 at a time.
Nice.
It'd be a Saturday night around 8:00. So they're just starting their night.
Yeah.
And would walk, they got their little tiara and their sash on and their list of things that they need to do.
Like
and
a
then
scavenger hunt type deal.
And would walk in another one.
Yeah.
And then another one. And it's like, are we going to have a turf war in here over bachelorette parties? But no, then they would all join together and out on the dance floor screaming and being bachelorettes.
That's funny. That's funny.
We get a lot of weddings after the reception.
I got you. So, okay, like wedding parties, just weddings, everybody's saying, hey, backer afterwards.
Yeah. And they'll there's times that a bus will pull up.
Nice.
And 30, 40 people will get off.
That's sweet.
And then 20 minutes later, here comes another one.
That's awesome.
Once again, is this a turf war? Because we got two brides in here.
Right.
They're supposed to be the center of attention.
Yes, that's funny, man. That's funny. Clean up.
Oh,
I'm sure y'all have seen some nasty stuff.
So it's commonly referred to as backer sludge.
Okay, talk to me about backer sludge.
It's a tile floor. There's no drains in the floor, so and as with any floor, it's never perfectly level. And stuff gets spilled. People throw up.
Yep.
Probably other things that happen because the bathroom's too far away.
Yep.
And just the sheer amount of cups.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the trash can's too far away to walk over there and throw it in,
we just put it wherever,
or it gets knocked out of your hand. So there would always be a
backer sludge
liquid.
I love it.
On the floor,
but I love it as a name.
And we joked one time that we should bottle it up and sell it. This is from USC weekend 2005. It's from Michigan weekend. We could probably sell it because
well, you probably would. I was there that night, bro. I stepped in this sludge.
I might have made some of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's fun.
Yeah, so it would definitely after a home game weekend, security would break out the snow shovels.
What?
To scoop up all the cups, it had a wonderful smell.
Oh, I'm sure.
Of everything. Lots of things I probably shouldn't mention, stale beer.
Yep.
Maybe people having a little bit too much fun on the dance floor.
Probably.
A little bumping and grinding.
Yep.
So and it actually, because once you get all the tables out of here, it's just easy. Break out the push broom and a snow shovel and it's gone.
Exactly. Just like dust mopping a big gym, man. Just pushing it to the side.
Pretty much.
That's too much.
And then shoveling your driveway.
Yeah, literally. That's linebacker sludge. What would be one thing that people would be surprised about to hear about the Linebacker Lounge?
Actually, probably how many celebrities and famous people come in here.
That's another one of my questions. So we will piggyback on both of those. Talk to me.
So during my time, there's been with Scott Weiland from the Stone Temple Pilots was here for USC weekend. WWE wrestler Sheamus has been in here a couple of times.
Really?
Probably one of our biggest regulars during football season is Dean Norris.
Oh, well, he's from here, correct?
Yeah, he went to Clay High School.
Yeah.
That's great guy. He just comes in and hangs out. And
that's neat.
People shake hands with him.
That's cool.
One of the other big ones has always been after a flyover of a home game. We usually get the pilots.
How cool.
So
that's neat.
Over the years, I've got to meet a lot of different pilots.
Wow.
And almost every time there is one of the pilots is a Notre Dame grad.
That's neat.
So that's even... And they'll usually tell stories of, I remember being back in here when I was in school. And
that's neat. I mean, for them, and then they are in the Air Force and flying over.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
And they go park the plane, hang out at the football game, and then come over here and drink afterwards. I'll tell you what, the best group of all of them was the Blue Angels.
Really?
Oh, and their commander at the time had graduated from Notre Dame.
Okay.
And I believe he played... was a reserve on the basketball team.
I gotcha.
Back when he was in school.
Yeah.
And they brought the whole crew.
not just the Angels,
not just the pilots, the whole crew.
Yeah, mechanics, all that.
Man, those guys can drink.
You probably got to be a little bit crazy.
A little bit
doing that stuff.
Oh yeah, a little bit. But they were fun. They were so much fun.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Trying to think.
Well, hell, right now I'm looking at a Blue Angels picture on the wall signed. That's neat.
Yep. And Adam Rodriguez from, I think he was on CSI Miami.
Okay.
He was in for a USC weekend. We once had the Mike and Mike show here.
Yeah, I remember that. In the morning, the Leprechaun was here.
Yeah, that was.
Or they were dressed
I can't
as
even
leprechauns.
remember what game that was. I've been involved with so many big games.
Yeah, that's
between
neat.
Working at the bar. I now work at Notre Dame, so I deal with that. So they start to blend together.
Yeah,
with our local, now the South Bend Cubs.
Yeah.
Even back when they were the Silverhawks, we've had Ryan Sandberg, Jody Davis.
Nice.
Different times when they've been working with. They never worked with the South Bend Cubs. It was like the Lansing Lugnuts and the Peoria Chiefs, I think. Made friends. That's neat. I always tell everybody it's all about making friends and then just see what happens.
Yeah, right.
You know, you make friends. Oh, okay, great.
Yes.
I managed to make friends with Sheamus and a couple of WWE guys, and
that's neat.
I still keep in contact with some of them on occasion. And obviously you look around, you see all the different jerseys of all the players that former football players, former basketball players that love the backer.
And they're out across the country, the world, and I guarantee if the name, the linebacker, comes up, they just sit and smile. They can be sitting in San Francisco or something. Who knows? Were there any, over your time here, your memories, any changes?
Not really.
I know.
So
it's been very similar.
The big change came in '96.
Okay.
When they moved the door from the front of the building to the side of the building.
Side, okay.
And at that time, when they did all that, they had put in all new paneling.
Okay.
I believe it was new floor. I don't know if they redid the bar or exactly what they did, but there used to be carpet in here.
No.
Yeah. So you can only imagine.
No, the Backer Sludge with carpet?
Yeah.
Yuck. So it was renovated somewhat in '96. Okay?
Yeah, I believe
so
it was '96.
Almost about 30 years, and that's to me that's the joy of places like the Linebacker. You don't need to renovate. These dirty floors are what makes it. Builds character. It's character.
It went non-smoking.
That had to have been huge. I think that was in
10, 12 years ago?
Yeah, I think it was like 2011, 12-ish, something like that.
And it was really weird at first because it's wood. Wood absorbs smell. And it took quite a few years before the smell actually disappeared.
Oh.
I know it smells a lot better.
It's just the yellow.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was, like the 70s when everybody smoked. And everybody smoked everywhere.
It
didn't matter. And chain smoked.
Yep.
You'd go into a house and have to repaint it because everything, whatever color it was had a yellow tint.
Ugh. All right. Well, we've just spent a lot of time talking about how popular the Backer has been and memories formed and everything. I just want to share a little bit about the history that I found.
Okay.
So, from what I can find, it opened as Eve's Cafe in the early 1950s.
Yes.
From what I can find. Then in 1959, it was named NOLA. It was named NOLA, N-O-L-A.
Like New Orleans?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
For a couple years. And then the earliest reference to the Linebacker that I can find was 1964. I found the owners were applying for a liquor license.
Okay. So in 1962, Mo, and I always screw up his Patios. He was a Notre Dame football player.
I got you.
And he had been drafted by, I believe, the Steelers. And he went and borrowed money from the owner.
Of the Steelers?
Yes. To open this place.
Really? To buy whatever cafe and open the Linebacker as a bar?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. His last name was a P, something with the
Pottios.
You know what? That might have been the name of the cup of the people who I saw on the liquor license. Huh.
So he did that, and in 1984 it was bought by Wanda Dolinsky.
Okay.
and she, I guess probably the best way to say it, her staff and everybody kind of took it to the next level.
I got you.
Made it as popular as it could be.
Yep.
Basically made the backer the backer.
And over the years, I mean, I bet I found, I don't know, 24 different articles about different burglaries here, crimes here, and not like holdups, but more like the owner got here at 8 a.m. and found the jukebox cracked open.
Well, and the thing is, it's such a landmark. Mm-hmm. Something happens on this corner, whether it's an accident or anything. No one says the Speedway.
Yeah.
They say the Linebacker.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly where the backer is.
Yep.
Boom, boom, boom. So the backer name gets mentioned a lot in police reports because of the
well-known location. Yep. Exactly. I found an article, and I'm going to read it out loud, and we'll talk about it. November 12th, 1968. Deputy's weapon taken from car. Sergeant Raymond Banky of the Sheriff's Department reported his revolver, belt, ammunition, and handcuffs were taken from his car about midnight Sunday. Banky told city police he stopped at the Linebacker Inn, 1631 South Bend Avenue, after going off duty. He said he left the items belonging to the Sheriff's Department in his car. When he returned about an hour later, he found the vent window forced and the equipment gone. It was valued at $150.
Okay, so there's two things in that. Anybody younger than probably 40 will not understand, one, what a vent window is.
Yep.
And the fact that a weapon, ammunition, handcuffs were valued at $150.
That's a good point, too.
You can't buy a gun for $150.
No.
Well, you can, just
you
not
can't
legally.
Not legally. But think of that. Think of what this guy had to tell his bosses at the police department. Guys, I hit up the backer on my way home, and they broke in and stole my shit.
Oh, my goodness. That's hilarious.
Oh, man.
That's why there's cameras all the way around the building.
Now,
yeah. Got to cover your ass somehow.
For sure. And then we also just spent this time talking about all these memories formed, talking about even graduates of Notre Dame are planning their reunions around the linebacker. I found several instances where the linebacker almost didn't make it past 1970.
Oh, wow.
And then almost didn't make it past 1976. Now, I won't read all these articles, but I got them just for your records. In 1970, an 11-story hotel was proposed right here where we're talking. 221 rooms, parking for 454 cars. This would have been tore down. All the buildings on this corner would have been tore down. They would have extended Twickenham like it is now. They finally got around to that. And it actually gained approval from the city, but it just was never built.
Wow.
Then, in 1976, multiple articles, there was a 191-unit hotel planned, and Hilton was involved. And literally, the name would have been called the Linebacker Hilton.
That's
literally
that's amazing.
The Linebacker Hilton. I included in there whenever you look later. The neighbors were against it. The wooded estates over here, the neighborhood, there were voice of the people. There were meetings, and they were against it. But it also gained approval from the zoning commission. Wow. Isn't that wild?
Wow. Over the years of all the stories I've heard about this place and everything, that's one I never heard before.
Isn't that amazing? It's literally, when you read that, you'll say, dang. I mean, it's legitimate. It got approved, and it just never came to fruition.
Well, at that time, that literally would have been the closest hotel to campus that was not owned by the university.
Really?
Because the Morris Inn has always been on campus.
Uh-huh.
There wouldn't have been. I mean,
that's true.
Like now we've got the embassy suites and.
Yep. That's true. Yeah, that would have been definitely the closest here. Yeah, Jamie. That was
other than Legends, which back in the day used to be Senior Bar. The Backer is the closest bar, other than obviously Eddy Street, where Brothers and that is
right.
Backer has always been the closest bar to campus.
Yep, that's true.
That's why it says across the street from Notre Dame.
Yep. But I don't know. Part of my podcast is how intertwined our past is with our present. And imagine if that would have come to fruition in the 70s. And the folks still would have had fun here at Notre Dame and everything, but just in a different spot.
That's crazy.
It is. It's just that type of stuff.
It's amazing. What do they call it? It's a butterfly effect.
That's
where yes. If something would have been something different, where would have you been? Where would I have been?
Exactly. That truly is. Why are places like the Linebacker, just with the sticky floors, with the Linebacker Sludge, with the crowded bar, why are they just so loved?
The people. 100% the people. The people that are behind the bar, that are making you feel welcome, making you your drinks. Of course, the drink prices usually help a little bit.
True.
You add in the DJ playing the music. The people that are coming in and the friendships and everything that they have here. I mean, if you look around the bar right now, your age range is from 21 to probably mid 70s, and you're not lying. You're true. That's the truth. Everybody just gets along and hangs out, and you can have a college kid sitting right next to a 70-year-old man or woman and having a conversation about absolutely nothing. Because that's what you do. Yeah. Just hey, I'm sitting here by myself. You're sitting by yourself. Let's talk about absolutely nothing. That's awesome. All right, Aaron. Well, hey, I appreciate your time, man. Thank you. Anytime. I'll be sure to share the gospel of the Backer. Thank you for listening to another episode of Round the Bend Now and Then. I hope that you learned all about the Linebacker and why it is so beloved. An extra special thanks to Aaron Frucci for allowing me to set up shop right there at the Backer and for sharing your memories and stories. Folks, if you're in the Notre Dame area, stop by the Linebacker. You can also check out their website, linebackerlounge.com. I put the link in the show notes. Also, follow them on Twitter @BackerLounge1 or like them on Facebook, Linebacker Lounge, across from Notre Dame. As I ask you every episode, please share the show with anyone that you think would appreciate it. Just copy the link and share it, or just tell them to search for Round the Bend Now and Then on their favorite podcast apps. Join us again next time as we learn more about South Bend and Mishawaka's Now and Then.